Jay Halsey, your stock class world champion with the associated prototype in the lead with Paul Dion in second, and Eric Soderquist, surprising Eric Soderquist, moving now into second place.
Back in 1985, at the very first IFMAR Off-Road Worlds in Del Mar, California, Team Associated driver Jay Halsey took the win in the two-wheel drive stock class. But did you know he placed second in the four-wheel drive class with a prototype four-wheel drive RC10?
Came about where a friend of Jay's had a four-wheel drive conversion for an RC10.
There was a guy, Dan Lamey, that handmade a prototype, and it was his version of the RC10 that he converted into four-wheel drive, and it looked pretty cool. He showed me it, and I brought it to Associated, showed Roger and Gene and Curtis, and from there, they made a prototype and decided they were going to run one at the Worlds.
And thought maybe Jay should run it. So Jay kind of came up to us and talked to Roger and myself, and we kind of, and of course my dad, Gene Hustine, and looked the car over and thought, well, maybe we should enter it in the class. You know, maybe we should make some tweaks to it. We can kind of redesign it, develop it a little bit more. Although we were in a time crunch, his basic design was okay. So we kind of took that, Roger re-engineered it.
It was a one-off car, and they just handed it to me to take a look and see if I could make it do something, and improve it a little bit.
As quickly as we could, made a prototype and got it ready right on time for the race, and that's the car that Jay ran.
We only got the car a few nights beforehand. Roger brought it to our campground that we were camped just by the track there, and we worked on it all night. And it had many gears and a chain-driven front drive, and we'd never really seen anything like that, and hadn't ran anything. So back then the batteries were a lot different, so we were really worried about the efficiency in the car. And the first time on the track was the first practice round, so it was a little risky, but the car actually worked very well.
A whole new experience to work with a car like that. It was a chain drive, I think, and a lot of kind of fragile. So Jay did pretty good with it. He ran, I think, very well, but certainly not competitive with the Yokomo, which was a well-established car.
In favor of a gentleman's agreement with Yokomo, Team Associated opted to not pursue the four-wheel drive class.
The partnership between Yokomo and Associated goes way back, way before I was even involved in the hobby.
Oh, well, it went back to the very early days of 8-scale on-road racing. He started dealing with Yokomo back in 1972 or so, when we first came out with the RC1.
Between both teams, design teams, trying to use both design teams efficiently, not all the companies back then could design cars for every category. They didn't have the capacity.
After that World Championships, we were so busy making two-wheel drive cars that we really didn't have time to start designing and developing a four-wheel drive car. And the partnership we had at the time with Yokomo was so good that we decided to work together.
And the four-wheel drive market wasn't huge then. Two-wheel drive market was still very, very big. So I don't know if they came out with it back then, if it really would have changed a lot market-wise.
So some partnerships formed between companies. We did two-wheel drive, they did four-wheel drive. Their racing team drove our two-wheel drive, our racing team drove their four-wheel drive. And, the relationship between Yokomo has been strong for many, many years. But it has changed over time because now, both companies make products in more categories, and we tend to compete with each other on the racetrack. We're fierce competitors. Off the track, we're strong business allies.
So we ask ourselves, what if? What if Team Associated had decided to further develop that early prototype? And what would that evolution look like? The answer is the Team Associated RC10 four-wheel drive. For the first time in history, Team Associated is offering the iconic RC10 in a complete four-wheel drive kit.
This four-wheel drive car is based on kind of a natural progression of the original. So what we thought on this project was we wanted people to be able to race it, have fun, and not have the same issues we had with the original RC10 with ball cups popping off. And some of the new features for the RC10 four-wheel drive are based off of the Team Car 1990 released car. The uses the modern ball cups, CVA style axles, stealth transmission, hard anodized shocks, new shock towers to accommodate for the new transmissions. The battery mounts are a new style, or the clamping style for your LiPo batteries. It has a new front transmission for the front belt pulley and clutch system. Has full ball bearings, belt drive. And also put in a little bit more modern technology. So the caster block steering blocks we use, it's basically the B74 design. We went with the white plastic to give it that classic RC10 look. And you can use modern tires on the front and rear. And this car is meant to be raced.
I would have been really excited if this showed up to my campsite the night before the World Championships. But I think for the guys that are enthusiasts with, the RC10, I think that this actually being a kit out of the box, four-wheel drive, and you don't have to do anything. It comes with bearings, with differentials, belt driven, and they can race it. That's going to be pretty cool.
I'm actually kind of excited to see this go around the track. We never really did race the four-wheel drive RC10, and now we'll have the opportunity that with all this modern pieces on there, be stronger. It looks like the RC10, we've got a lot of good compliments of people kind of spotting it out there that didn't really know what it was, but it's fun to drive, easy to drive, goes fast. Very strong, so should be pretty fun.
I think it's going to be cool, and I think that from all these races that we're going to now with the nostalgic stuff, I think it's going to be very popular.